Tonight, we're diving into a story where history and mystery just crash right into each other on a storm-swept coast. It's a tale about secrets that have been buried for a long, long time. Not in the sand, but in the quiet, dusty archives of a small town.
You know, where the land meets the sea, the past has this strange habit of not staying buried. And I'm not just talking about shipwrecks or lost treasure. Sometimes what the tide brings back are secrets. And in this story, it's a secret that someone was absolutely willing to kill for.
So let me paint you a picture. A furious storm is just raging over the Hamptons. The usual picture-perfect coastline? Forget it. It's transformed into this chaotic, almost cinematic landscape of crashing waves and screaming wind. It's on a night exactly like this, when the whole world feels unsettled and rearranged, that our story really kicks off.
Now, our story doesn't unfold on some windswept cliff. No, it happens in a place that's just as steeped in memory, the historic East Hampton Library. It's supposed to be a sanctuary for the town's history, a place where the past is perfectly preserved. Or, well, so it seemed.
And this is right at the heart of the mystery. Dr. Silas Thorne, the guy who was literally the guardian of East Hampton's history, is found dead, right inside the Long Island collection. He's surrounded by these priceless documents and artifacts, and his life has just been violently ended. His death is this jarring, brutal intrusion of the present into a room that's completely dedicated to the past.
So every mystery needs a detective, right? But in this case, our investigator isn't a cop, he's not a PI, but he's the one person who has to try and make sense of all this chaos.
Meet Julian Vane, the library's new director. This is a guy who's way more at home with scholarly debates than with crime scenes. You know the type. Tweed blazers, a little bit of academic charm, and this kind of streak of intellectual rebellion. And now, this newcomer has to navigate a town's darkest secrets to find a killer who's lurking in the archives.
So what exactly was Dr. Thorne protecting in there? I mean, the Long Island collection is a gold mine of history. We're talking over 100,000 items, whaling logs that still smell of salt, diaries filled with forgotten secrets, even materials on George Washington's own Culper spy ring. Every single item tells a story, and one of them holds the key to a murder.
Julian's investigation pretty quickly leads him to one specific set of records. They belong to a family whose name is, well, it's woven right into the fabric of East Hampton itself.
The Dominy family. For nearly a century, these guys were the master craftsmen of East Hampton. We're talking clockmakers, furniture makers, even mill builders. They were pillars of the community, known for their precision and public service. Their records were supposed to be a testament to a totally impeccable legacy.
But as Julian is sifting through these meticulously organized Dominy papers, he finds something that just doesn't belong. It's a small, vellum-bound diary. There's no name, no date, nothing to say why it's there. It's a total anomaly in a collection that's defined by perfect order.
Okay, so while Julian Vane is poring over these historical documents, the police are dealing with the, much more brutal reality of the crime. The past and the present are about to intersect in a very clinical, very modern way.
And here's the puzzle for the investigators. The weapon used to kill Dr. Thorne? It's gone. Poof. No witnesses, nothing. So how could they possibly know what to even look for? Well, the answer, it turns out, was written on the victim himself.
The medical examiner found these really unique marks on the victim's skull. They started comparing them with all kinds of known weapon types, and then they found a match. The weapon wasn't a simple knife or some blunt object. No, it was a katana, a samurai sword, a very strange, almost ceremonial weapon for a murder in a library, right?
This kind of breakthrough is possible because of a fascinating field called tool mark analysis. So here's the gist. Every tool, whether it's a screwdriver or a sword, has these microscopic imperfections. When it hits a surface like bone, it leaves a unique signature, kind of like a fingerprint that can be traced back to that specific object.
Okay, so let's recap. We now have two clues that seem totally unrelated: a mysterious vellum diary from the 19th century and a modern murder committed with an antique sword. Let's see how Julian Vane puts these pieces together.
Julian goes back to what he knows, the archives, and specifically, the Dominy family's account books. And just like you'd expect from master craftsmen, every single transaction, every piece of wood, every brass fitting is recorded with this painstaking detail. But then, he finds it. One entry that just breaks the whole pattern. It's a large payment, not for services or materials, but to a vellum binder.
And right next to it, a single chilling word: silence. This was hush money. And suddenly, boom, it all just clicks into place. That nameless diary belonged to the vellum binder, and it must have detailed some dark truth about the celebrated Dominy family, a secret that Dr. Thorne had just uncovered. He wasn't just a random victim, he was silenced because of what he learned from the pages of history.
In the end, the storm passed, and the sea went back to its quiet rhythm, keeping its secrets. But the archives, well, the archives didn't. They gave up their dead. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In every library, in every old book, what other truths are just sitting there, waiting for the right person to turn the page?